It's people who are rebellious, and rebellious comes in many forms. And when you find a person who doesn't want to work with rules, he or she will break the rules just for the hell of it. There's a rule there. So let's break it.
I've grown up surrounded by activists, anarchists, police and probation officers. After seeing a slew of hatred on Facebook towards the police under the slogan ACAB, all cops are bastards, I set out to find out if the general public agrees and whether two opposing ideologies can ever get along. I met up with self-professed anarchist Kai and headed to Bristol on a busy Saturday afternoon to talk to the police.
An anarchist is somebody who is aligned with their own individuality, their own autonomy. It's not no rules, it's no rulers.
An anarchist, if you imagine, somebody who wants to be free from government, free from rulers, just live their life peacefully, and they see the police as oppression and don't like it. So they might actively take a stand against it. And they have a phrase they use that's ACAB. It stands for all cops are bastards. What's your take on that?
I like that.
I don't.
ACAB all the way. Woo! Yeah!
I don't. I think when you need
ACAB.
them, you'll ring them happily. It's only when they don't do something you sort of highlight it, but when you need them for, like, just say your child's gone missing, you'll ring them and hope that they help.
And they help.
So your personal take on the police would be?
50-50.
That they're helpful.
I'm not really very good with ideologies because they tend to go too much one way than focus on a wider perspective.
Yeah.
They're just people too as well. As much as they get told what to do, I'm sure most of them feel a little bit of remorse. And I suppose you have to try and work with that. Honestly, the further I can get away from them, the better when they're in work mode.
And not all cops are bad. They're bad in every walk of life. I mean, there's a percentage there that let the side down, and they should be rooted out.
Yeah?
Yeah.
A small percentage, a large percentage?
Yeah, there's a small percentage of them that are literally bad eggs, and they're not got the right spirit for the job at all.
Yeah.
Some of them haven't got much common sense, but 70% I would have said are really decent people that try their best and put up with a lot of crap.
Can we ask you a few questions on camera?
Mate, the best, if you call 101 and ask for the press office, we could, but we'd get in a lot of trouble.
Right, I see.
The press office and other ways to
Unless there's a few officers out there who just do generally see, I'm a police officer, it's just a job, I don't care. I put my uniform on, I do my job, I go home at the end of the day, I take it off. I'm an anarchist, even though in my mind even, that's impossible, potentially, pretty much, to come across. I guess it could exist. I guess there could be a cop who goes, I agree with you, but I'm just doing a job. But I'm not going to say that's really likely, at the least.
My name's Judy. I'm retired. I spent most of my career working in the probation service, both as a frontline worker and as a senior manager. So I started working as like an outreach worker with young, disadvantaged 16-year-olds who'd been through the criminal, or were already part of the criminal justice system. And I realised that in actual fact, to make a big difference and to change things and to help people, I could do it better from joining what was then a welfare service, which was the probation service, when our mission statement was to advise, assist and befriend. It never said anything about punishment or, which is being part of the criminal justice system, which it is now. Whereas when I joined it, it was a way of helping people, and I do like to think that in my life, both as an activist when I was younger and as a probation officer, I have made a difference.
For as long as capitalism and oppressive regimes are coming down upon the people and hitting hard, then not only in a mental sense, when you first discover anarchism, do you say like, actually, yeah, this is something I can align with, this is not them coming down upon me, this is just, I'll look after me and I'll live and work with whoever I want.
A lot of people would say, one of the wonderful things about this country is freedom of speech, which we don't have. But I'm sort of all right with that, because one person's freedom of speech is another person's racial hatred. So those are the sort of things that, whereas an anarchist would live with the survival of the fittest, the racial hatred, the expression of, anti-Jewish stuff and things like that, because they prefer that they'll take their chances with that level of freedom. Whereas most of us, and that's why anarchists are anti-police, because they think, they're quite happy to survive in an environment where people look after themselves and police themselves. But we know there's too many predators for that.
You need the police, even if you're a person who hates the police. The only people who really hate the police, if you really think about it in a sensible manner, are criminals. Because people need police. Without police, there'll be anarchy all over the world. You need a certain set regulation of law, right? Now, everybody has had some kind of bad experience with the police one way or another. But I know that we still need them. Because if in moments of situation, we call the police. Help us out with this. Help them. Even guys who call police pigs all the time. There are situations that they need the police and they've got to ring the police. So shut up, you hypocrites. Because at the end of the day, you're calling the police names, but you need them.
I have dealt with some of the most dangerous and violent people in the country. I've literally met a few hundred murderers, nearly as many rapists. That in an anarchic society with no police, as an ordinary person, that would worry me.
I've seen police at work has been perfect. No brutality, or you get the odd one, but I don't see that. They're all right, there's a few bad ones. We don't tarnish, all of them with the same brush, I only see the policeman as the police I've seen.
Yeah.
So I can't say that all police are bad.
Yeah.
And I definitely wouldn't say that. I think they're brilliant.
The problem with the police is the police, again, like a lot of organisations, it's the bad ones that you notice more. And then when I, went to work with the police, I don't think I even realised myself how many prejudices I got about them until I got there and found that the modern police force kind of continually showed me that my prejudices were just that. They were, that it was based on the worst of the worst in the police force. And in actual fact, there's a lot of good people in the police force.
Anarchists have coined together a saying, and you've probably heard this, ACAB, all cops are bad. What's your take on that? You've never heard it, but it's something quite a lot of people in the anarchistic society would use. What's your take on that?
Obviously everyone's entitled to their own opinion, but unfortunately some people do have that view, and obviously we'd like to be able to change that if we could.
Yeah. So, your take, summed up in a few words, what the police is and what change you'd personally make, if any.
We wouldn't make any changes at the moment. I think it runs as well as it can do. Obviously there's always room for improvement, but at the moment it's running as well as it can do, I think, in the circumstances we have.
Approaching this documentary, I had my own prejudices about the public's perceptions of the police force. Speaking with people from all walks of life, I was surprised at the amount of support for Avon and Somerset Police. I think in preparation for this documentary I fell into the trap of being prejudiced myself. I really thought that the public would agree that all cops are bastards. What people actually thought surprised me, in a good way. Although this documentary has answered many questions, it has left me asking more. What do you think? Are all cops bastards?